Hey guys, it's your girl SeekretD. Good afternoon. It is afternoon, not morning, but here we are. So today's strawberry letter is called Smoking Mirrors, right? So the lady writes in. She has an adult daughter. She didn't say how old she was, but she said she's been dating this guy long distance for a while. Her daughter met the guy at the gym. She said that, she was working out in front of the mirror and the guy came and stood, in front of her so he could see himself in the mirror. So that was like their interaction at the gym. She said, he's quiet, he stays to himself. And besides being a little bit vain, she doesn't really see any other issues with him. So she figured, let me introduce my mom to this dude. So the lady says that, when she's talking to the guy, she notices that he either like just finished smoking, about to smoke, or is high or something like that. So my man is over here, 420 in it, right? She says she didn't really think much of it. So we fast forward, and this lady is supposed to meet up with this man. She wanted him to come visit her, but he insisted that she come to him because he lives in the same city as her daughter, so she can see her daughter as well, etc., etc., etc. So he bought her ticket. She excuse me. She went out there, and kind of first red flagish to me, she stays in his place, or she's supposed to stay in his place. So she gets there, and she said, when she looks around, she sees the smoking paraphernalia. She sees condoms and all this stuff. And she said he told her his plans for them for the weekend and all the things he wanted to do to her sexually and stuff like that. And she said that she was taken aback, and she ended up leaving. She said they never discussed it. He was talking about he wanted to do like role playing and all this good stuff. And she said that she left, and she was like, no, she went to go stay with her daughter. They never discussed doing anything sexually. He had a full length mirror on the bed, and he said they can watch themselves while they're doing it. And she was just like, no, basically. And the end. So she said that the guy told her daughter that she was too shy or something like that, and so it wasn't gonna work out. And her question is, should she tell her daughter the real reason why, or about the details of why she decided to stop seeing him, or should she let it just be her fault, right? Doesn't matter. Like, I guess it depends on the relationship with your daughter. If you guys had that type of relationship where you talk about stuff, because once you become an adult, your relationship with your parents does change. So you talk to them about things you wouldn't usually talk to them about, obviously, if you're a little bit younger. We're both adults. Her daughter lives on her own. She introduced her to a guy, so she hooked her up. So I would assume that they do have that type of relationship. But the fact that she's writing in to see if she should tell her daughter about it kind of makes me feel like, okay, maybe they don't have that type of relationship. Because, for me, I would have left that man's house if I went to that man's house and went to my daughter's house, like, let me tell you what this dude did. You know what I mean? But Shirley pointed out that she's not really dating this guy. Like, you talk to him, you video chat with him long distance. That's it. Like, y'all don't have that type of relationship because, as you said, you never even discussed having sex or any of these things that he mentioned, which is kind of weird because, we're adults. So if you've been talking to somebody for some time, weeks, months, what have you, and you decide to go to their state and stay with them when you could have made other options, then I'm going to assume that the person is going to assume that it's going to go down at some point during your visit. Not saying it has to go down. I'm going to say that this is an assumption because A, you're going to them. B, you're staying in their house. And C, if you've been dating online for a while, That's kind of the progression of relationships. I mean, me personally, I would feel like you need to figure out if you mesh with them in real life, because video chatting with somebody and then actually being around them in person and feeling their energy and vibing in real life is different. So you might meet them and you might realize that we don't match. But I feel like she knew she didn't match with this dude, because you talk about he's smoking and this and that, and you don't do that. Like, just because he's not next to you doing it doesn't make it okay if he can't be next to you doing it. Like, if you're not with it, then it doesn't make sense to be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna think anything of it. If he's always high or always smoking or always about to smoke, then that's gonna be a problem if you don't participate in those recreational activities. So that should have been an issue for you from day one. So I don't know, ma'am. I don't know if you just really wanted to have a friend or something, but I could tell from the beginning of this letter, when you said, oh, he's always smoking, I didn't think anything of it, I could tell that it was like, no. Me personally, I don't date people that smoke at all, because I don't smoke at all. So it's not gonna work for me. I don't like the smell of it. I don't want it around me. So I would never date or talk to or entertain anyone that smokes leisurely all the time, a little bit, once in a while. No, because I don't want to smell it. I don't want it next to me, and we will have a problem. So I don't understand why you even entertained the man, even though I guess it was something to do, if you would have a problem with that part of his lifestyle. So, I mean, the mirrors thing, I feel like it's not like super kinky. I'm pretty vanilla and I like the mirrors, so I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I feel like you just don't like the man. I think it was fun to chat with him and stuff like that, but maybe you don't want your daughter to think you're like boring or a problem. Like, maybe she's not gonna hook you up again. So I don't know. Maybe you should tell her, if you really care, to make sure she knows that it's not your fault. But if you're not comfortable telling her, then don't tell her. Just let her think that, you guys weren't compatible. That's fine. That's fine too. You could be too shy or whatever it is he said. It wasn't anything that was that bad that you'd be like, oh, I got to defend my honor. So I don't think you really need to tell her. But if she be hooking you up, then maybe you need to tell her, so that in the future she don't do that again. Because, I mean, I guess she wouldn't know that the guy smokes, but I feel like somebody that smokes as much as you said he did, he would smell it. You'd smell on him when he's working out. That shit would be coming out his pores or something. So, a lot of questions here. I really don't get the point of this letter. It really was not necessary. You either tell her or you don't. There was no real issue here. But I get the smoking thing. I don't understand the mirrors thing, because like I said, vanilla and the mirrors are fine. So, I guess to each their own. I ain't judging, because I'm pretty vanilla. So, I ain't judging, but there you have it. Y'all can tell me what y'all think.